Microsoft bought Bethesda, now what? Let me show you 10 things that will most likely happen according to the main leadership of Bethesda at the current time. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This one is going to be a little bit different. It's not directly related to Fallout 76, but instead it's about the company that develops and owns the Fallout franchise. As you surely heard by now, Microsoft bought Zenimax, the parent company of Bethesda, and that means a lot of things are about to change. But what exactly? It's surely a window of opportunity here, but it's also too early for definitive answers. And the internet is now swarmed with rumors, speculation, and opinions on what's going to happen next. So, to stay a little bit closer to the facts, I decided to read both Todd Howard's and Pete Hines' community letters and retrieve their key strategies for the future of the company regarding this new change of ownership, which now belongs to Microsoft. Alright, so with that being said, let's jump right into the points. Well, let's start with something quite predictable actually. According to Pete Hines, the vice president of Bethesda, the structure and leadership of the company will remain the same under the new ownership. Now, this is quite common to happen when a huge company gets purchased. They generally sign a contract which prevents the new owners from firing people who were previously hired, or at least those with a fixed contract. This doesn't mean Microsoft won't fire people on the long run or entirely change certain positions or renew the departments. Actually, it's the middle and the low positions that usually get changed. Moreover, the acquisition process is going to take about 1 year to complete, so they will have plenty of time to reorganize the teams and implement their new goals. Anyway, I know what you are probably thinking. Same leadership, huh? Means same perspectives, same type of decisions until date, and so on. That might be correct, but this same leadership now has to report to a new boss, Microsoft, which most likely has different goals and demands. And honestly speaking, if Zenimax was in a not so great place, which actually required saving, then something is not going very right with the management, and a huge change is necessary. Now, Microsoft did not just invest over $7 billion to watch Zenimax fall into bankruptcy, right? So I do believe Bethesda will now have to answer to Microsoft very closely. So it's very unlikely that the same type of decisions from the same leadership will keep happening. They will have to adapt and run things according to the new reality. That's the way business works. Well, according to Bethesda, this change is really positive, and one of the main reasons is because they share the same core principles with Microsoft. As Pete Hines mentioned, the two companies have several values in common, such as passion for video games, a high-quality standard, and even innovation. So with so much in common, there is a great chance things will run smoothly without a lot of clash or conflict of opinions or even perspectives, because it can be really tough or even impossible to run a huge corporate when most chiefs are not on the same page. Now, Todd also mentioned Bethesda has been evolving with Xbox over the years. Their partnership has been very successful and their path went hand in hand many times in the past, which could possibly mean this type of relationship will continue the same way, but now as one entity, not as two separate companies. Of course, the merge alone has a lot of implications, but starting off with the right foot is halfway towards success, as they say. So now only time will tell us if their core values are really the same or not. One of the main player concerns regarding this acquisition is the fear that existing franchises like Fallout and The Elder Scrolls will become exclusives to the Xbox. About this matter, Hines and Howard haven't talked about it directly. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, it could perfectly happen, but it's unlikely. Why? Well, first of all, because the companies already stated that Bethesda Games will not become exclusive to Microsoft's console, at least according to reliable sources like the Polygon. Secondly, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, if you think about it, there is an established and solid fan base for such franchises already from all different platforms. So by choosing to make future games for existing franchises exclusive to one platform, it's definitely not a great idea. It would make them lose a huge part of the fan base, and that means way less revenue. They don't want that, that's for sure, so I highly doubt they will go forward with such decision. On the other hand, new franchises will probably become exclusive to Xbox because they do not have an established fan base yet, so that forces players to buy their console if they want to even try the game, and it usually works. That's how platform exclusive franchises are born. So don't be surprised if Starfield, for example, is released first on Xbox, because it's a brand new game and a brand new franchise in the early stages of development. One of the most discussed topics in Bethesda's community letters is accessibility, player empowerment, and the ability to connect no matter where you are or what platform you choose to play on. For instance, Hines mentioned how the gaming industry is shifting from a device-centric to a player-centric era, and it's important to enable this freedom for players to connect anywhere in the world and from any device. This basically means Bethesda is not a big fan of exclusive platform franchises or platform limitations, and they support the freedom of choice, which is always great, of course. Moreover, Howard mentioned this change with Microsoft is way more than one system, which again hints they are not going for Xbox exclusive rules, and crossplay will be a thing. For Bethesda's director, the ability to connect anywhere, anytime, and from any device is something he wants to bring to every player. Well, that's some pretty exciting words. It would be great indeed to have more video games with crossplay like The Elder Scrolls Online. What do you guys think? Do let me know. Well, one thing is for sure, Bethesda and Microsoft are promising us better games. More quality overall. They will keep making games as usual, but even better. Pete Hines clarified that Microsoft will enable new and essential resources necessary to deliver better games. He also explained that change is a key point to improve, to get better, to grow, and even to innovate. So the current change should be perceived as something really positive because, after all, better games is something every player out there wants or should want. Moreover, the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, has already said their goal is to allow Zenimax to become the best Zenimax they can be, giving them all the resources and means they need to create better games. Well, that sounds like the best company transition in the history of humanity. It almost sounds too good to be true. Don't you think so? Anyway, let's proceed. As I just said, Microsoft is going to deliver all sorts of resources to Zenimax and Bethesda to ensure they can deliver better video games. This includes technology, tools, staff, and well, new engines, of course. The Fallout franchise, for example, could really take an upgrade in that regard. The creation engine is more than outdated at this point, and it is a pain in the butt to work with. Well, from what I know, just look at Fallout 76 and the endless bugs that exist, some of them which require months or even years to get fixed. It's insane to think a new engine could be the solution for most of Fallout 76 issues, bugs, and even exploits. So yes, one way or the other, more and better resources are definitely going to help shaping better video games in the years to come. The way is always forward, and now Bethesda has a linear path to walk with Microsoft. As Todd Howard said, with each new console there is a new evolution, a new adaptation. What's the future of Bethesda games with the new consoles though? Well, one thing is for sure, they will all be available on Xbox. PC players shouldn't be too worried about it because, well, Windows belongs to Microsoft, so sooner or later they will release the games for PC as well. On the other hand, PlayStation players have reasons to be worried. Sony is a direct competitor, and I don't think new franchise games will make it into the PlayStation world, sadly. That's just my humble opinion though, don't take it like a certain truth or something alike. Anyway, let's move on to the next point. Player interest will come first, at least according to Bethesda's director. He shared his convictions on how Microsoft doesn't just talk about putting players first, they live it and make it happen. Something that Bethesda tries to do a lot, but doesn't always manage to do it. At least on Fallout 76, despite the community feedback, Bethesda is not well known for listening. They usually have a very selective agenda, and they usually listen to what's the most convenient, let's put it that way. Hopefully now, with this new change, player feedback will be more explored and actually used to improve Bethesda games. One can hope, right? Anyway, Bethesda's chairman also came forward to say that fans or players are the big winners in this case, with all this change of ownership. He also reassured that Microsoft will play a key role in allowing Bethesda to create even better games in the future. This one shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Bethesda games are really going to be added to Microsoft's Game Pass, about to Xbox and PC. I decided to add this confirmation here because the news went live some hours ago. Now, what about Steam, for example? Will Bethesda games be removed from such platforms? Well, nobody knows for the time being. It's unlikely since the deal was made in the past already. Anyhow, one thing is for sure, all the upcoming new games will be on their Game Pass, and I'm afraid you will not see new Bethesda games on Steam from now on, for obvious reasons. The last point is for all of you guys who played Fallout New Vegas and loved it. There is this player wish for a second game for a very long time. It's normal, players loved it, they want more, and maybe now they will finally get it. Well, in some years from now, that is, if the decision goes forward. With its acquisition, Microsoft now owns both companies, Bethesda and Obsidian, which means New Vegas 2 is good to go. There are no more legal restrictions for the franchise or anything related to the Fallout world. Now, since so many players would like to play a second game, don't be surprised if they actually decide to make another New Vegas. Nothing is stopping them now, plus they got all the resources, so I don't see why wouldn't this happen. I still can't believe this is happening. I think nobody was expecting Microsoft to buy Zenimax and start a revolution in the gaming industry. A lot of things will change in the upcoming months, that's for sure, but for now, this is all I could gather for you one day after Bethesda's transition into Microsoft's hands. These are the 10 things to expect, which will most likely happen sooner or later, according to the big bosses, of course. Now, that's everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am Marta Branco. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. And well, feel free to support me even further by checking the links below the video. That's really everything. I will see you all very soon in the next one. Until then, take care. Adeus. Bye bye.